Hey guys, it's Hayden here making another video. Today I'm going to talk about my meditation practice and how I was able to work through one of the more challenging aspects of beginning meditation. Let's get into it. Welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, I talk about spiritual development, mental health, and anything that I feel like might be useful or helpful along your spiritual journey. If that sounds interesting to you, then consider checking out my other videos and potentially subscribing. If you'd like to work with me in coaching sessions, energy work, or card readings, then check out my website where you'll see my services listed there and you can reach out to me from there. So today I want to talk about my meditation practice and a specific barrier that I feel like most people don't get through when they start their meditation. So when I hear people say that they've tried meditation or they've done meditation or like, oh, you know, I tried it, but it didn't really work for me. I was like one of those people too. And so like I've always been like around meditation and like work with meditation and like, but I never had like a consistent practice because I never felt like I really could ground myself in that practice and stay consistent. And I actually, if you've seen one of my more recent videos, I got the Muse, which is essentially an EEG tracker that you put over your on your forehead, and it gives you feedback on your meditation. And ever since I've been doing that, it's allowed me to stay consistent with my practice, and it's given me feedback on my practice. So if I'm staying present, if I'm not staying present, and it builds my awareness around when I'm feeling present and when I'm not, and if I think I am but I'm not, that feedback is there. And so the trap that I fell in the past was getting frustrated with the practice and frustrated when I had thoughts come up and I would try to like fight the thoughts. And I think this is something that's really common with people, the thinking that like because there's thoughts there that the meditation is not of a high quality or that you're not doing it correctly. That's actually not true. A lot of what I've learned in doing my meditation practice for, I think it's 26 or 27 days now in a row, with varying lengths, you know, I would say at least 10 minutes a day up to 30 minutes a day, is that it's not about getting rid of the thoughts. It's about being able to connect back with the moment and being able to connect with presence. So it has nothing to do with the thoughts or the lack of thoughts. It has to do with the process of being able to be mindful and be able to pay attention. So we're not trying to get rid of thoughts. We're not trying to hold on to thoughts. And that's where I feel like the Muse was actually like an amazing tool, because it gave me that feedback that I didn't really have before. So I didn't actually know when I was meditating or not, or like when I was feeling calm or when I was feeling not calm. Like I would get stuck in my head. And so if you're struggling with meditation, one, for sure, I would recommend the Muse, because I think it's such an amazing tool and has made such a big difference in my life. Honestly, like before the Muse, it was really hard for me to really get feedback and understand what my practice was. But now that I've been sticking with it, I would say that just because you're having thoughts doesn't mean that your meditation is bad. It just means that your mind's busy at that moment. And so like you're gonna have meditations where the mind's really busy, and it's really important to not place value or on good or bad on the meditation. Just, I think a takeaway from each meditation is like, was I able to be aware of something during the meditation? Was I aware of the thoughts that I was having? Did I have a busy mind? Did I have a quiet mind? So it's not necessarily like the result that you're looking for. It's more like, was I able to be aware of what's happening in that moment? So that's kind of the process that I've learned. And I think it's a very like big misconception that there's this goal to achieve silence in the brain, in the mind. silence is nice, and sometimes that happens, and sometimes that doesn't happen. And so if you're evaluating your success on a meditation on something that like is variable and changes from day to day, it's normal that you're going to feel frustrated about that meditation, because the expectation is that, oh, I should have a quiet mind when I meditate, or it should look like this, or I need to sit in a cross-legged position, and because my knees aren't flexible enough, I can't meditate. Those are all barriers and kind of limited ways of looking at meditation that will make your practice not sustainable, because it's not being viewed from an approach of process of how am I able to be mindful? How am I able to build awareness around this? So, oh, I've noticed my knees are hurting me. How can I sit in a position that's comfortable that still allows me to focus? Or if you can't sit, how can I lie down in a position that allows me to stay awake while still being mindful? And so it's not necessarily like, how do I do it specifically like other people do it, and how do I achieve a specific result? It's how can I engage with the process? And I'm honestly like, this like realization is so powerful that like once you start to engage with meditation in that way and not have an expectation of what the meditation should or should not look like, and just noticing the urges, noticing the desires, noticing the frustrations, the anxieties, anything that comes up, just noticing it. Just notice that it's there. It's okay. It's not going to hurt you. It may be uncomfortable. It can be very uncomfortable at times. Sit with it. Get curious about it. Like, you don't have to dig into it necessarily, but just be like, oh, like I've noticed that I'm feeling anxiety right now. I'm kind of curious about that. Let's examine that. Because the tendency is to pull away. The tendency is to be like, oh, that's scary. That's bad. Let's run away from it. But if you're able to sit in that and be, oh, that is an intense emotion. How can I sit in this process and see what unfolds, right? And that's where having a timer is helpful. So having like, I'm going to do 10 minutes. Because if you don't have a timer and you just sit for like an undetermined amount of time, it gives the mind a free get out of jail free pass of like, oh, well, I can stop whenever I want to. So being able to say like, even if it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes, but as much as you can, sticking to that time. And so if you know that 15 minutes is too much for you and it might be too uncomfortable, then just do like 10 or 5 minutes, you know? Like you don't have to push yourself super hard. The goal is sustainability, not to beat yourself up and like put yourself in a situation that's like really, really, really challenging or overwhelming. So start at a place that is comfortable for you. Start at a place that comfortable yet also a little bit challenging, right? Because if we're not challenged a little bit, we're not gonna see growth. Change doesn't happen unless there's some form of challenge, right? That has been like a really, really profound understanding for me. And I think it could make such a big difference in people's lives if they can understand that distinction of not having that expectation. So I hope that this video was helpful for you. I am an affiliate for Muse. I honestly like highly recommend it. I know it's kind of expensive, and I was hesitant to get it because of the price, but if meditation is something that you want to incorporate into your lifestyle, I don't think you'll be disappointed by the Muse. Like, it has honestly been such a powerful tool for me, and has been able to help me stay accountable, to track my progress. Has meditations on there if you want them. So I definitely recommend it. I'll put my link in the description. So if you want to support my channel through purchasing that, then definitely do that. I would appreciate it. I think there's also a sale going on currently. It's right before Christmas, so they're probably trying to get people to buy some for Christmas. So definitely would recommend it. But thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate you guys, and I hope that you're doing well. and I will catch you in future videos. Make sure to seek your truth and to take time for yourself. Bye for now.